What's up guys, it's MD with Video Games Blogger, and I'm going to talk about, as you could see, Batman Arkham Knight. And let me just say that this demo was so good. I think they focused on the best aspect of this game, which was the Batmobile and how Batman interacts with the Batmobile. So the Batman demo was behind closed doors. I was able to get VIP access because I had made an appointment. There was a big mix-up with the time that I had made the appointment, but at least I was able to get in eventually. The Warner Brothers booth was not big, but it was packed because they were showing behind closed door demos of 4 games, which were Batman Arkham Knight, Mortal Kombat X, Shadow of Mordor, and The Witcher 3. I was supposed to get behind closed doors of all of those games, but like I said, there was a mix-up with the time that my appointment had been. Some of them were 30 minutes, one of them was 40 minutes. Batman was 15 minutes, so that was the one that I could do, but that was the one I really wanted to see. The Batmobile in Batman Arkham Knight looks kind of like a mix of the old school Batmobile, like the Tim Burton Batmobile, and the tankish Batmobile from the recent Batman movies. So this game is going to be made for next gen and PC. The fluidity of this game is just impressive. There's literally no transitions. When Batman jumps off buildings and he's like flying, like in all the Arkham games, he does this in every Arkham game, right? He floats with his wings and stuff, and he moves across Gotham. Even though there was this familiarity of that in this game, where you're just like, okay, this feels like an Arkham game, it's so beautiful. Like, everything just looks so crisp and bigger. Like, it just looks so much wider. Everything looks brighter, and the details are just insane. Even though it's dark, you know, obviously, almost every Batman game has had that dark feel to it. It's never day. So even though it's so dark, you could see so much, and it's because of those lights. Batman feels even more like Batman, and what I mean by that is that this game is more about takedowns than about button pressing. So instead of like freaking hack and slash and just pressing the A button, Batman Arkham games have been big on like rhythm and like, you know, timing and stuff like that, getting combos. But this game, it just makes you feel like Batman. They're giving you more opportunities for takedowns, for swift takedowns, where it's like Batman just glides from a building and then just like boom, 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 kills like, or not kills, but knocks out like 4 guys with takedowns. And I believe they were calling it fear takedowns. You could take down like 3 guys at the same time. There is no fighting Batman. It's just like Batman is gonna take you out. They were really trying to show off the way that the game flows, and I think they did a really good job about showing that, because it's just seamless movement. It's just like Batman jumps off a building, he's gliding through the air, and then there's a vent that you remember all the Batman games, you would land on a building and then crawl into the vent. In this one, it's just like he's gliding in the air and then he just goes whoosh into the vent and he's sliding into the vent. There is no downtime. It's just like everything just flows so well, and there's no loads. It's all just one swift motion, and it makes you feel like you're Batman this experienced fighter that really doesn't take these timeouts, or like, you know, he stops and he's like, oh, gotta take a breather, you know. No, like, Batman doesn't do that. Since the world is bigger, it's not only bigger, but it's also it's higher. So the buildings are a lot higher than the previous games, and the way that they're gonna make Batman move around that is he doesn't just have the grappling hook, because the grappling hook it doesn't give you that much height. It's not as powerful for it to like take you up a tall building. So now they have what's called the chain grapnel, which is pretty much the same thing. It looks like the grappling hook, like the gun, but it sounds like it's made out of chain. It sounds heavier. It sounds a little more powerful, and it does bring you up the building a little bit faster. Kevin Conroy comes back as the voice of Batman, which is always nice to see or to hear. And Rocksteady is also coming back to work on the game, which is another nice thing to hear, because they didn't work on Arkham Origins. In the E3 press conference, they showed that one of the main villains is the Scarecrow, and they did. You could hear the Scarecrow talking over the comms in the gameplay, so I'm not sure if the Scarecrow is the main villain for Batman Arkham Knight, but there is something, it seems like someone is calling themselves the Arkham Knight, and that's what Batman has to find out who it is and all this stuff. There is another guy that comes out in the demo. At first I thought it was Deathstroke, but then I was like, wait, is it him? Because he kind of looks different, and it is kind of made to seem like Batman doesn't really know who he is. So I'm not sure if it is Deathstroke. It reminded me of him. Another new thing for Batman Arkham Knight is the environmental takedowns, which were really cool. You drop in on, like, let's say 4 dudes, and you immediately take them out, but you could also take them out by grabbing them and like actually slamming them into a wall, or like grabbing something from the environment and just like whacking them with it. That was pretty cool, because it's not just like a repetitive takedowns where it's like, okay, you know, Batman's gonna come in, break this guy's neck. It's different every time. It's different, and Batman does do a lot of different moves. And one of my favorite things about this demo was when the Batmobile comes out, and at first Batman is in this location like where it's like, okay, how's he gonna get the Batmobile out here? You actually have a remote control that you could not only bring the Batmobile to you, but you can actually control the Batmobile from wherever it is. So wherever Batman is, you could control, it'll take you to the Batmobile, and you are controlling the Batmobile, driving to Batman. Batman immediately jumps into the Batmobile, and again, you are controlling the Batmobile. You actually do drive the Batmobile, which is super exciting to me. I'm like, oh my god. I am not getting out of the Batmobile. I'm telling you that right now. The Batmobile is my ride. The Batmobile, I'm not sure how easy it is to control it, but it did look like it was easily controllable, because it was moving fast, and it didn't seem like the person who was playing was losing control over the Batmobile. It did seem like you have a good amount of control over it, and you have these thrusters on the Batmobile that when you press them, you could like go up ramps and actually jump off over jumps and stuff like that. But the thrusters also work to give you enough speed to eject Batman. Like he literally like flies out of the Batmobile. There was this part where, and you could do this. This isn't like cinematic. This is you are in the Batmobile, and you push the thrusters, it gives you speed, and the Batmobile starts going really fast, and then you eject out of the Batmobile, and Batman literally flies out of the Batmobile, flies into a building, and takes out like 3 dudes. And it was just all seamlessly happening. There was no break. The amazing thing was that it was actual gameplay. It wasn't cinematics. It wasn't transition scenes. This is actually you controlling it. And I was like, and the most crazy thing was that once the Batmobile is like outside this building, right? And you just crashed in there and you took out a few dudes. And then this guy that reminds me of Deathstroke comes down, and like a bunch of dudes come in. There's like maybe like 15 guys, and that's this main guy that wants to kill Batman for some reason, is saying, oh, we're gonna kill you, Batman, and you think you're all that and whatever. And Batman's behind like this glass or something, and Batman's just like watching them, and they're all looking at him, and behind them is a window, and the Batmobile is out there. And Batman like puts his hand behind his back, and he's got the remote control for the Batmobile, so you could literally use the Batmobile to attack the people inside, and they're not even expecting it, because they're looking at you and they're like, there's no way this guy's gonna attack us right now, because we're gonna shoot him. But the Batmobile, like, the missile launchers come up, it's all the crazy thing was that the Batmobile is fighting these guys, or is shooting at these guys, and then Batman has the element of surprise, so he jumps in and starts taking these guys down like nothing. But the most craziest thing is that it's not just that the Batmobile is assisting you, it's that you actually fight with the Batmobile. So the guy was saying that it's man and machine fighting together. So Batman does this takedown where he uppercuts this guy, and the guy like flies up in the air, and the Batmobile shoots him down, and it's like, oh my god. So now it's not just combos, like it's not just Batman combos. Now it's Batman combo with the Batmobile combo. So the Batmobile actually adds to the combo, because you are taking these guys down together, Batman and the Batmobile. It was so cool. I believe they were calling this battle mode with the Batmobile and Batman, and that blew my mind. I'm not kidding, guys. This game is going to be so good. It's making you see exactly what is available when it comes to next generation, when it comes to gameplay, and not just graphics, but gameplay. That was pretty much the demo. It was 15 minutes long, so it wasn't too long, but what they showed was really impressive. It's kind of sad that old generation players aren't going to be able to play this game. So the Xbox 360 and the PS3 players, you will not be able to play this game, because this is only for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But in my opinion, this is definitely a game that would sell a next generation console to me if I didn't already own one. I own a PS4 right now. If I didn't, this would definitely be on the list of reasons why I should get a next gen console if you don't already have a PC. But I'm guessing that this game, since it is more of a combo game and a button smasher, I think it works better on console than it does on PC. It is going to be releasing sometime in 2015, so it is kind of far away, but I guess it gives a lot of people some time to start saving up for a next generation console. I will provide some links in the description for the trailers and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.